Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So if you're new here, my name is Lynn Taggart, and I make these videos to help folks thinking about making a move to Oklahoma City get a better understanding of this place before they make the big leap and actually move here. I made this video here to keep people from making a huge financial mistake by disclosing all the things that could in some cases drive a newcomer crazy. Now, as to the topic of this video, if you're living in California, let me ask you, how are things going out there for you folks? Fed up with all that's going on? How bad is it? Comment down below. I increasingly see on the news and I hear anecdotal stories from my California viewers and the California transplants I've met here that things are not going well in the Golden State. In fact, things seem to be getting worse, and increasingly it's causing decent, hardworking Californians to weigh the pros and cons as to whether continuing to live there makes sense. Maybe you're thinking the same thing. Sure, California has several pros, and they're significant. The year-round beautiful weather, the abundance of natural resources, incredible scenic beauty, and a wide range of outdoor activities and events. Unfortunately, the cons of living there appear to be really stacking up, though, in a big way, affecting all aspects of daily living, causing many to think of the unthinkable, moving out of California to get away from it all and get a fresh start elsewhere. I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but I'm sure that the rising homelessness, the sharp increase in crime, the backbreaking excessive regulation of small businesses, high taxes, progressive politics, and last but most assuredly not least, the high cost of living and lack of affordable housing are causing many to say, enough's enough, we're out of here. And if that's you, I'm sorry you're having to go through this, I really am. Many before you, 5 million folks over the last 10 years and 700,000 just in the last 2 years, packed their bags and simply left the state. And it's a real shame, but it is what it is. But then that begs the question, where to go to find a better life? Arizona, Texas, Florida, they seem to always get mentioned. And these states have a lot going for them, no doubt. I have nothing bad to say about them, other than the fact that their cost of living and their affordability advantages, which have been major draws in the past, starting to slip away and are not as compelling as they used to be. But what about a less obvious choice? How about little old Oklahoma? Bet you that one wasn't on your radar, was it? In all seriousness, if you value a less stressful, slower paced quality of life, an extremely low cost of living with very affordable housing choices, a place where traditional conservative values and norms still prevail, a place that's safe, all while living and working in a state full of friendly, welcoming folks, then this just might be the place for you. I talk about some of these things in this video here, where I talk on why retiring in Oklahoma is something you should seriously consider. Now in today's video, I'm going to compare and contrast what living in California is currently like compared to living in Oklahoma when it comes to 5 of the pain categories Californians now routinely deal with: crime, homelessness, taxes and business regulation, cost of living, and housing affordability. I think you'll be surprised to find that Oklahoma competes quite nicely in all these categories and offers a living situation that's worlds apart, as in much better in many ways, than what you're probably experiencing right now. So before we dive into the discussion, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit the like and subscribe buttons shown down below. It lets the YouTube algorithm know that you like the content I'm creating, and hey, it encourages me to keep making these little jewels every week. But enough about that. Let's kick things off. Let's talk about crime. So I made this video a few months ago all about crime in Oklahoma and how we compare to some of the larger U.S. cities, including several in California, including San Diego, LA, San Francisco, and Sacramento in particular. Now here are the slides from that video showing the comparison with Oklahoma City. First up is San Diego. And then we move on to a comparison with Los Angeles, shown here. And then we look at San Francisco and how we stack up. And finally, how we compare to Sacramento. Now, looking at this data set, the California numbers don't look too bad, but they really don't tell the whole story. And frankly, a lot of the data I showed previously is pre-pandemic, and in the case of California, the numbers are not reflective of what's going on at present. The most recent stats I uncovered are from 2021, and that shows in California, when it comes to violent crimes, homicides in the state spiked by 41% and aggravated assaults by 18% compared to pre-pandemic levels. Not good. Now, turning to property crimes, one thing I've also learned in researching this topic, experts in California say that recent property crime statistics have become really meaningless, since many businesses and residents have simply given up. They don't report them anymore because they know police and prosecutors no longer enforce property laws. Now, why is this? Well, because of California legislation like Prop 47, many felonies have now been downgraded to misdemeanors, and felony thresholds have been raised to $950 for property crimes, leading to a major uptick in smash and grab type crimes like shoplifting, etc. Stealing surfboards? Really? On a motorcycle? Now, under Prop 57, violent criminals can be released early from prison, and under SB 357, which apparently legalizes loitering and solicitation for prostitution. And shocking to me, laws exist in California that eliminated the requirement to post bail. And those policies apparently are still in force. So add to all that the pervasive sentiment to defund police, and you see the result. California is experiencing a huge uptick in crime across the state. Let me ask you, if you live in California, do you feel safe where you live now? So turning our attention to Oklahoma, do we have crime here? Yes, we do. But the difference here is that in Oklahoma, we protect our citizens by aggressively prosecuting people who commit crimes. And as an example, the horror stories I'm hearing about widespread assaults and looting and shoplifting in California, they simply don't happen here. We won't put up with it. We are anything but soft on crime, and we fully fund and support our law enforcement folks. People that put their lives on the line for us every day. No defunding the police here, that's for sure. It also probably doesn't hurt that in Oklahoma, we're an open and concealed carry state. And lots of people here have guns. Lots of people. Which makes for a pretty strong and obvious deterrent to crime. Homelessness. This one's just sad. My son and I were on vacation in LA in August 2019, right before COVID hit. And frankly, we were shocked by the number of homeless that we saw. They were everywhere, under every overpass we came to. And apparently it's only gotten worse since then. The high cost of living and lack of affordable housing are big contributors, and we'll talk about that shortly. Poverty, unemployment, and income inequality are also to blame, as well as mental health issues and substance abuse. When it comes to homelessness, California is number one with the highest homeless population in the United States, with over 170,000 people qualifying. Now get this, with over 50% of the nation's entire unsheltered population is in California. Let that sink in. Half the country's homeless live in California. And it's getting worse. For instance, last year alone, homelessness in LA jumped by 10%, in LA County by 9%. Since 2015, it's grown by 70% in LA County and 80% in LA, and experts don't see the trend changing anytime soon. Now contrast that with Oklahoma. Oklahoma ranks 29th in the country when it comes to homelessness. Our entire homeless population in the state is around 3,800 people. Will you see people in Oklahoma City and Tulsa panhandling on the street of some of our busy intersections? Yes, you will. But it's not even close to the endless tent cities that you see all over metropolitan areas in California. Taxes and business regulations. So tax rates in California, I don't have to tell you this if you live there, are very high. State income tax is tiered and can top out at 13.3%. Ouch. State income tax in Oklahoma maxes out at 4.75%. Much better. State sales tax in California ranges from 7.25 to 10.75%. Again, ouch. State sales tax in Oklahoma is typically 4.5%. Property taxes are the only area, percentage-wise, where California wins out, sort of. Their property taxes run about 0.73% of home value, and Oklahoma property taxes run about 0.87% of home value. But note, just remember, even though the property tax rates are slightly lower in California, home values in California dwarf values in Oklahoma. So actually, the amount of money you're paying out for property taxes in California will be way more than in Oklahoma. Also of note, LA now has something referred to as a mansion tax. So for any home you sell valued from $5 to $10 million, get this, you get to pay an additional 5% tax just for selling your home. What a deal. On homes over $10 million, the percentage jumps to 5.5%. Let's just say in Oklahoma, we don't have that here. And the regulatory burden in California continues to grow, with minimum wage increase initiatives passing in LA and San Francisco, increasing the cost of doing business in these cities. California is also considering regulations to severely reduce the viability of Uber and Lyft operations there as well. In a recent study of all 50 states, California came in dead last, number 50, the worst, in a review of each state's regulatory climate and how badly a state's regulatory burdens negatively affect small businesses. California is also not a right-to-work state, by the way, and burdens small business owners with excessive family leave mandates, larger energy regulatory burdens, stricter land use restrictions, and more expensive workers' comp regulations. By contrast, Oklahoma falls within the top 20, number 17, giving the state a very favorable ranking regarding the state's regulatory climate towards small businesses. And unlike California, Oklahoma is a right-to-work state. Small businesses will have a much easier time operating here than in California. Cost of living. Oh yes, huge advantage here for Oklahoma. I made a video about the cost of living you have in Oklahoma, comparing costs to live in LA versus Oklahoma City, and how you could cut your cost of living by 50% by moving here, no joke. Check it out here for a deeper dive on the subject. Overall, Oklahoma is one of the most affordable places to live in the entire United States. Cost of living in Oklahoma ranks 13% below the national average, placing us as the third lowest state in the country, behind only Kansas and Mississippi. Cost of living in California ranks 42% higher than the national average. So do the math. That's a 55% advantage to living in Oklahoma versus California. See, I wasn't lying to you when I said 50%. Let's break the comparison down further. Utilities. Oklahoma is 27% cheaper than California. Food. Oklahoma is 22% cheaper than California. Healthcare. Oklahoma is 17% cheaper than California. Transportation. 33% cheaper than California. By the way, gas here is $3.20 a gallon versus what you paying out there? Maybe $6.20, $6.25 a gallon. And by the way, here you won't have to deal with stuff like this. Goods and services, 18% cheaper in Oklahoma. Pretty compelling, right? These all stack up. Keep a lot more of your paycheck, right? Frankly, I don't see how people survive out there. I really don't. Hence the migration now occurring out of state, I guess. And that doesn't even cover the elephant in the room, our last pain point. Oh yes, cost of housing. Well, this one's simply a no-brainer. Housing costs in California are astronomical compared to the Sooner State. Don't believe me? Check out these statistics. The average home price for all of California, the average right now, is $760,000. If we zero in on California cities, the average home price in San Diego is $950,000. In LA, it's $917,000. And in San Francisco, are you sitting down? The average home price is $1.26 million. Yikes. At least things are a little more reasonable in Sacramento, where the average home price is $471,000. What a bargain. Now let's compare that to Oklahoma. The average home price here is $200,000. That's right, $200,000. The average home price in Oklahoma City is a little more, $240,000. In Tulsa, it's about $200,000. What if you're a renter? Sorry, but the comparison is just as stark. The average rent for all bedrooms and property types in California is $2,895 a month. In LA, it's $2,900 a month. In San Francisco, here we go again. Hold on to your hat. It's at least $3,500 a month, probably more. Wow. Based on the same criteria, rental rates for all bedrooms and property types in Oklahoma runs about $1,350 a month. Regarding home prices, think about this. You could buy 2 or 3 houses in Oklahoma for what one home costs in California. Here's an idea, folks. Sell your house in California, move to Oklahoma, buy your primary home, and then buy 1 or 2 or more rental houses here for some additional passive income. How about that? Looking at these prices in California, I guess it's no wonder the homeless population is what it is and why it's getting bigger. Shelter, even basic shelter, is simply unaffordable for many, and the situation doesn't appear to be getting better anytime soon. So that's it, folks. Looking at these 5 criteria, how's Oklahoma looking to you now? Did I get your attention? So to recap, here in Oklahoma, 1, we don't have the in-your-face crime that's now becoming more prevalent in California. Put it simply, you're going to feel safe here. 2, our homeless population is, well, it's pretty much non-existent. 3, small businesses here will have a much easier time operating with more business-friendly regulations to deal with, and your tax bill here will be much less. That applies to income, sales, and property taxes. 4, your cost of living here will be substantially lower than in California. And 5, your housing dollars will go much, much further than they would in California. Now, do we have beaches, snow-capped mountains, and year-round mild temperatures to offer? No, we don't. But hey, we do get to experience all 4 seasons here. That's a pro, right? And we have a wide range of our own brand of scenic beauty to enjoy. From sand dunes and tall grass prairies in the north, beautiful lakes in eastern and southern Oklahoma, and mountains and roaring trout streams in southeastern Oklahoma. Not to mention some of the most beautiful sunsets you will ever see, and some of the friendliest people you'll ever meet. I hope you'll agree that Oklahoma has a lot to offer newcomers for a whole host of reasons that we've just discussed. If you'd like to know more, please reach out to me via phone, text, or email, and let's get a dialogue started. I'd love to meet you and answer any questions you may have about this place that I've called home really my entire life. Also, do me a huge favor and hit the like and subscribe buttons and share this video with your friends and your family. Doing so lets YouTube know that you like the content I'm putting out and helps get my channel a wider audience over time. And for that, I would really appreciate it. Also, for those thinking about relocating here, comment down below. I'm curious, what things about Oklahoma are most attractive to you? Conversely, what things are most concerning? I'd love to hear what you have to say. So thanks again, everyone, for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll see you on the next one. Adios, everyone.